Tartol, and this is my anatomy and figure drawing presentation for the final week of our class. So first, I threw together this little video like you told us to do. I didn't know how long to make it, but I just kind of, like you showed us, just made it kind of fade into each of the parts that I did on top of the image. And overall, I was actually pretty happy with these. I think some of my muscles are probably a little off, but overall, I was really happy that I've gotten to this point. When I look back to where I've started, I've definitely made a good amount of progress over this month because this was my first set of figure drawings, and they were mostly stick figures. Here I got a little bit of bodies going on. That one I kind of liked, but still my proportions, just everything way off. I don't know what's going on there. Then my 5 minute ones, like that is just a monstrosity. This guy's got a rib cage that just kind of floats in the middle of his body. He looked kind of cool, but just so much is off about this. So I definitely had a long, long way to go, and I was a little nervous, but you definitely reassured me that I'd be able to get to where I needed to be, and just if I put the work in, it would all work out. And I could definitely see with my more recent figure drawings, like even my 30-second ones, yes, they're still essentially stick figures, but I've got the spots for the joints in, everything like that. They've got a lot more realistic forms to them. The 1 minute, still just a little bit of an improvement, but still overall a lot better than what I was doing before. 5 minutes, I still have a long way to go here, but these are definitely a lot more cohesive than what I was doing the first week. And this 10-minute one, I just, some reason, I totally blanked on doing the cylinders. I knew something was off, but I was kind of having a crazy day, and I just blanked on that. So this guy would have looked a lot more realistic and well proportioned if I actually used the cylinders like I should have for each of the sections. But for some reason, just blanked. And overall, I thought he looked kind of cool, but definitely still a lot to improve on. And same with this. I know my proportions and stuff would have been a lot better, but this is so much better than whatever the heck was going on with this. So I'm definitely happy to go from that to that. Definitely a big improvement to me. So that was really nice to see. And doing stuff like these hand studies, the foot studies, they were actually, I really enjoyed these. I was a little nervous going into them, but once I just started doing them and found my flow, and I spent a long time on them. Honestly, I would just put on some TV and sit down with my iPad or on the computer, and I would just go through it. And I really found myself enjoying myself, though. It was a really fun thing to do, and it was very interesting just to see how everything kind of interconnects and works, and how you would make these things look believable instead of flat. Which I still have a big problem with my things looking flat, but I'm also very much a beginner drawer, so I know I have a lot to learn. Doing this, I definitely was freaking out until I realized, maybe I could just trace the skeletal part, because that was just something I could not draw freehand. But once I did that, then the rest, it was a lot less stressful. I had a lot more fun with everything, and I was really happy with how all of these turned out. I think they look pretty cool. I know you pointed out a few minor details I can add in there and some of these connections and stuff, but overall, I was really happy with these. And this, our final thing that we've done, honestly, I think this looks pretty awesome. When I look back to where I started with these original action poses I did, to go from here to there feels pretty awesome, honestly. And I know there's still definitely a decent amount on here that I need to fix and things that are off. But overall, I'm really, really happy that I was able to go from this, my first week to this. I was really, really happy with this. And I know my skeletal forms, I probably should have added a little bit more details, like the actual structures of the bones and stuff. But I wasn't exactly sure, because in your tutorial, you didn't really make out each rib and stuff. You kind of said just to give the general idea. And right now I'm realizing, your feet do have bones, so I probably could have put that in there. But yeah, overall, really, really happy with this. And I'm happy I made it through the month, because as you know, I was pretty nervous in the beginning. And I'm really proud of where I was able to come to. Just, it's got a lot of work to do, but when looking back at this again, and I know I had a lot more time on this too, but still, it's a cool progression to see. Because the thing is, in the first week, it didn't matter how much time I had, it would have never even gotten to this point. It would have stayed about like this, just because my mind just couldn't figure out how to make it more detailed and just how these shapes worked and how to draw them correctly. So really, really happy with what I was able to do this month. Thank you so much for all the feedback and just the support when I was a little freaked out about everything. You really made me feel like I can do it, and I proved to myself that I could. And it just makes me excited to see what I have to conquer in the future. So thank you for a very interesting and cool month, and I can't wait to see what's next.